This boat has completely changed my perspective on what a sailboat can achieve. Trimarans, like the Dragonfly 28, truly stand out with their unique design and capabilities. Hi, I'm Martin Robitaille. I'm the Dragonfly dealer for Canada. I will show you in this clip many reasons why the Dragonfly should be your next boat. The mooring capability of a Dragonfly is amazing. You have access to the best mooring spot. You can arrive late, and nobody uses those best shallow spots, but we have such a shallow draft. It's very easy. We just set a triangle from both amas, and the boat doesn't swing. It allows you to have the best spot. When you go to Marina, you can just fold the amas. It takes a minute each side, and the boat is always maneuverable. The amas actually acts like two extra centerboard, so you have really good traction in the water. It's really easy to approach a dock. It's a lot lighter than a monohull, so you don't carry the same momentum. You don't need to brake it, slow its speed down. You can just approach it nicely and slowly and under control. I find it actually a lot easier than a monohull just because it's lighter and you have more traction. Regarding safety, this boat is unsinkable. It's because of its construction. So it actually have a sandwich construction, which means you have a layer of fiberglass, foam, and another layer of fiberglass. A bit like the panels actually for the companion. This is veneer, but imagine if it was fiberglass. The middle part is so light it floats. So if any part of the boat hit a rock or a log or buoy, let's say, or another boat, the integrity of the boat will always float. You can have a massive hull, but the construction is made to float. Another safety feature of this boat is the sandboard and the rudder have a positive buoyancy, so it will float up, and more than that, it's actually spring-loaded. Both have a cleat that is spring-loaded, and if you hit something, the little ball will go back in the spring and the cleat will pop up and release the control line. And that is a massive advantage because if you are in a monohull, you will compromise the integrity of the boat. Like you may have spider cracks in the keel, and more than that, you might also be stuck on that rock or that reef. Where this boat, if everything pops up, well, you now have 14 to 16 inches of draft, so you can just reevaluate what happened, regain control of the boat with the outboard perhaps, and keep sailing. Dragonflies are really reliable. Everything about this boat has been well thought out. They've been maintained for 60 years, so the design has been optimized for 60 years. And they really focus on the sailors, the owners, to make sure it's easy to use, that it works the way it should. So everything is labeled, everything is easy to use in terms of like just tying the preventer on, taking the boom cover off, like all the little things. The sum of it makes it a very enjoyable experience. This boat is so well thought out. You can even put on the trailer, lower the mast by yourself. It has a very stable and safe system to do that. That is true for everything, like lifting the engine, launching it, lowering the mast. Every step about this boat has been looked after for the owners. It's really easy to adjust the sails through the different wind strength on the Dragonfly. Everything is brought back to the cockpit. If you want to take a reef, it's a continuous line, so you just pull the reef line, and that's it. There's nobody at the front of the mast. For the maneuvers, it's the same. Everything is close by. You can tack and jibe by yourself. You don't need to rely on a novice friend or partner. You can just do it. Welcome to the Dragonfly 28. It has amazing performance on the outside, but inside, it's a complete cruising Trimaran. Every space has been optimized. As a reference, I'm 6'5", so I may make the boat look smaller, but it's a big boat for what you get with 28 foot. You can see here we have the galley. So on the 28, we have a dual propane cooktop, and we have a faucet on starboard. Lots of storage right here. Everything is, you just roll it up and down, and there's dividers so it doesn't move at any point. What I really like about this boat is actually there's a lot of space, especially like if you have a big family, you can accommodate up to 5 people. So you have a berth at the back for 2 people. It's all 2 meters long, so 6'6". And the stairs actually move left and right, or it can also rotate. There's a little string here and it goes right here, and that way you can easily come in and out. The option on the 28, you have the fridge either here or there. The option here to me is nicer because it's much bigger, and also it's closer to the water, so the water keeps it cold and you don't use as much energy. We have all of this is storage. Just lift the cushion, goes all the way here. You have lots of storage here. You can see my arm goes really deep in there. There's no unused space. And you might be like, oh, I'm quite high on this boat, like my feet are just hanging out. Well, actually, if you were to use a table, there's a little lever here, and then you have a footrest. So now you can just work. You're actually a bit higher on the Dragonfly, so you have always inside the windows. So you're not missing the view. You can be inside and be like, oh, like this is a nice breeze, and you can go back outside. So it's very nice. The centerboard goes right up here, and it's also used as a table, also as a berth in the middle. So to use the berth in the middle, you just lift the cushion up, flip this cushion goes right here, and there you have it. You have your berth. This table can also stays up like this, which is nice because it makes it a bit wider here. This is a great berth, especially if you do overnight, because it's much quicker to come in and out with your fall weather gear, or if it's raining, let's say. You have blinds here, so you still have a lot of darkness. If you have a friend, a fifth person, there's also a window at the back, which a lot of people enjoy because you're just watching the ocean. We're currently in the head. You have full privacy. This also slides in and out. You have lots of storage here, again with a roller blind. More storage here. You have a faucet here, more storage here, light, and ventilation. This is the V-berth. Again, it's 2 meters long. At the very front, there's actually an outlet because this boat have diesel heater. You have more storage at the very top, a little bit more on the side for your cell phone, reading glasses, and just over there under the cushions, you have even more storage underneath. It's quite spacious. I think a Trimaran offers great stability because you have those 2 extra hulls. That allows you to never lose control of the rudder. You'll never have the boat dial up from the heeling. It's very safe to walk around the boat because it's just always flat. Like, it doesn't heel, so it doesn't want to head up. Right now we have the Ginniker. It's 12 knots and it's passive. I feel the boat, but the wind is not taking control of the boat. And I can let go the tiller and it will just hold its course. And that's true in all directions. It just sails flat, fast, and safely. And because of that, you're never fighting the rudder. You can always steer it with a few fingers, and it's very easy. And you will never have rolling motion from the wave. You can always make coffee on the go. If you're sleeping, you're not waking up from a tack or a jibe because it's always flat. There's no rolling motion. It's a very stable boat. It's very easy to walk across in all conditions, and it's a safe boat. The trampoline is amazing on the Trimaran. It's a great spot to lay down, relax, listen to the waves passing underneath you. Or in the evening, you can just lay there and look for the stars. It's just an amazing space to relax, get that energy back, and enjoy. The best part about it is that you actually have one on each side. So there's always one that is sunny, which is great when you want to dry stuff. Dragonfly is really durable. Every component on the boat has been chosen to last the longest. You don't need to be a technical sailor to know how to look after this boat. The boat looks after itself. It's a low maintenance boat. That's why they also keep really well their value. They're really well made. They've been making them for close to 60 years now. And if you actually look online for different races, especially around England where they race them in really strong conditions, you can see how tough these boats are compared to other boats. This is a cruising performance boat. You don't need to race it, but it can handle the very hard conditions because it's very durable. It's well made. Dragonfly have a higher price point. It's a lot more expensive to build trimarans and monohulls just because of the design. They have to be a lot stiffer. You have the crossbeam, you have the MS, and the whole structure has to be really strong to be safe. And Dragonfly is really based on safety and comfort and its cruising capacity. So that's why the price range is quite high, because you really need to make a durable boat to get the best of it. And what I mean by the best of it is you can sail this boat in a really big breeze and it's solid. There's no weird noise. It's just slides through the water. You don't even know it's 20 knots and you're just cruising along the waves. And you could never have that if it wasn't a well-made boat. And they've been making it for 57 years. And you can see there's 57 years of experience on this boat. It's a blessing, and like there's everything you touch on the boat there's an explanation about it, of why it's Anderson winch, why this crossbeam has this design, why everything has a reason, and you can really feel some of it through the helm and through the comfort of this boat. And Dragonfly makes about 40 to 50 boats per year. These are very time-consuming boats to make, but they are driven by quality and not quantity. That's the best part of the owners. Like when they buy one, they are holding the biggest part of the stick when they want to resell it, because they know there's not that many around. Like if you're worried about the price point and how well they keep their value, I suggest to just look online, look on the Outquals, look on the Facebook group of Dragonfly and see how well they retain their value. And there's not many around, and the owners, I don't blame them. I will keep that boat forever if I could. There's not many boats that are trailable, that are fun, that are comfortable, and have amazing cruising capacity. This is one of them. Dragonfly is a cruising performance Trimaran. What it allows is amazing. We can sail so much further with ease. Like right now we are in 10 to 15 knots of breeze, and it's easy. We're just moving along. We're making good time. We're able to go to the best spots, see just so much more. The performance, you can feel it in flat water, but also when surfing. You don't have to trim the sail at all, actually. You just keep a high speed. Well, people can just enjoy it. You can all live the boat, feel the boat. It really feels like a dinghy, starting by the tip of the finger. You can have a light wind day or moderate wind day, and it will still move really well. There's no wasted days on the water. Every day is a good day. You will always feel the boat. I love it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to answer your question, show you the boat, and make your dream happen.